Hi, my name is Bethany Hedrick, and this is my sports assignment in my spring semester of my sports class with Dr. Epling. And the assignment I was given was Japan. As you can see on your left-hand side, Japan's flag is very plain. It's just a white flag with a red dot. It's very different from all the other flags that we're used to seeing with our flag. Of course, we have the stars and the stripes. It's very colorful. And with this, it's just very unique in its own way with being simple. And to your right side on the PowerPoint, you'll see that Japan outlines China on its right side. For this slide, this is about the population and the structure of the population. For the age structure of starting from 0 to 14 years old, it makes up about 13%. About 8,361, 611 of them are male, and about 7,875,045 is female. From the years 15 to 24, that makes up almost 10%, the 19.64%. 6,417 and 8,500 is male, and then 5,778,904 of them are female. For the ages 25 to 54 years old, that makes up almost 40%, coming in with 37.5%. 23,435,323 of those are male, and then 23,980,781 are female. For the ages 55 to 64 years, it's low at a 12%, 12.15%. 7,692,424 of those are male, and 7,665,157 are female. And lastly, at the ages of 65 and over, it's almost at 30%, with a 27.87%, 15,397,309 of those are male, and then 19,847,759 are female. The age group 25 to 54 is the largest age structure in Japan. And to your right side, you will see a chart of population. It gives you the ages in the middle of the chart, starting from 0, going up to the hundreds. And you can see that the age group 65 to 69 is the highest population age group in Japan on both sides, male and female. The chart almost is equal in every age group going up, except for when you get to the very top at the 100 years old, there's more females surviving the males. And on the bottom of the graph, it shows you the population in millions. So if you look at the 0 through 4, it's probably about 2.6 million people. And on the other side, it's about the same. The languages in Japanese, bear with me as I try to pronounce these. The main language is Japanese. The regional language, which is, I'm not even going to try to say that, but it's Okinawan, which is today's version of it. The minority of their languages is Aino, Bonin English, Naivi, and Oroke. The immigrant languages are Korean, Portuguese, and Chinese, which makes sense because that is the closest people to Japan, because Japan outlines China. The foreign, which would be English, us, Russian, German, French, Portuguese, and Spanish. The U.S. has the same foreign people. For religion in Japan consists of Shinto and Buddhism. Shinto and Buddhism are Japan's two major religions. Shinto is as old as the Japanese culture, while Buddhism was imported from the mainland in the 6th century. Since then, the two religions have been coexisting relatively harmoniously, and have even complemented each other to a certain degree. It is believed that Buddhism was introduced in Japan, however. Shinto was born from an existing primitive form of religion that worshipped nature. The ancient people of Japan honored sacred spirits that they recognized in nature, manifesting in mountains, rocks, rivers, and trees. For this slide, I will discuss the sport and culture pursuits of the nation. Sumo, which is considered probably Japan's one of their most famous sports, but they have 2-week tournaments of Japan's official national sport. It's a national sport, and they are held 6 times a year in 4 different locations. The second one is Kendo. It originated from Kenjutsu, or swordsmanship, the most important martial art of the samurai. Competitors wear special protective gear and strike at their opponent's head, chest, or hand with a bamboo sword. Thirdly, Judo, perhaps the most famous of the Japanese martial arts. Judo remains a strong element of the country's sports fabric and is a major focus of Japan's Olympic efforts. The basic principle is the use of self-defense techniques, countering your opponent's offense. To continue, the fourth sport is karate. It is a combative sport that came from China through the Ryukyu Kingdom. No protection is worn, and competitors can only use their hands and fists. As you know, everyone knows karate. I'm sure everyone's seen Karate Kid. It's a very famous sport, and it's come a long way. It's come all the way over here to the U.S., and a lot of people love to compete in this. Fifthly, the Aikido, the fundamental principle of the sport, is do not fight force with force. The sport practices forms for the sake of perfecting the forms. It is not as physical as judo or karate. Lastly, baseball is close to a religion in Japan. They take this very seriously, and the fans are die-hard supporters. There are 12 teams and games in Japan. There are 12 teams, and games in Japan are a spectacle of song and dance, with each player being serenaded with his own original song and explosions of fireworks and jet balloons. It's very different from the way that we play baseball here. Of course, you have the walkout songs for when you're about to go up to hit, and of course you have fireworks at the end, but this is more song and dance related more than actual baseball. The significance of sport in society. Japan is not often associated with the sports culture by other countries around the world. This is probably due to many other perceptions of the country that outweigh this culture, whether that be technological development, a unique culture dating back thousands of years, or even video games and anime. Its sports culture is often an afterthought. Japan, without a doubt, has an affinity for athletics that rivals any other country. Some of the most famous athletes in Japan and some of their events are, I'm not going to be able to say these names right, but Sadehiro Oh, he played baseball, and he is the greatest Japanese baseball player in its history. Oh was originally an excellent pitcher, but after switched to first base player. He started making home runs at an amazingly rapid pace, and in his career he made 868 home runs. The second is Kazu Miura. He was a soccer player, my bad. He became the first Japanese superstar professional soccer player. The last match Kazu played in Japanese national team was in 2000 and made the second most career goals in Japanese national team history, which are 55 goals in 89 matches. Thirdly, Taiho Koki. He was a sumo wrestler. As I told you before, sumo was a very popular sport over there. Taiho was the 48th Yokozuna, which is the highest rank of sumo wrestling. Next we have Kozaike Kitajima, swimming. He won gold medals for the men's 100-meter and 200-meter breaststroke at both the Athens 2004 and the Beijing Olympic Games. He gave a huge impact on Japanese people's minds at the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens. Kitajima made a big scream when he won the 100-meter and 200-meter breaststroke and got the gold medal. Lastly, Ryoko Tani. He was a judo athlete. She was a judo athlete. She was a female player in the extra lightweight 48 kg class. When she was 15 years old, she got her first major title at the 1990 Fukuoka International Women's Judo Championships. After this win, she kept winning this tournament 13 years in a row. She was called a Yawara-chan, which is the name of the main character of a famous comic book featuring judo. In Olympic Games, she got total 5 medals, including 2 gold medals at Sydney 2000 and Athens 2004. In 2010, she was elected the House of Councillors, the upper house of the Japanese parliament. This is the end of my slideshow. I had a great time talking and learning about the Japanese culture over there, especially relating to sports, and I hope you enjoyed it as well.